Mic check. 1, 2, 3, 4. Mic check 1, 2, 3. Mic check. 1, 2, 3. Okay. I think I've got all the chat feeds up. Should be good to go. Welcome, one and all. Stream. Camera's bugging out, so just give me a moment. Hello, hello. Welcome one and all to a kind of random bonus stream. Don't normally stream at this time during this time of the week, but I decided to kind of have fun with it. We're actually part of the Steam Autumn sale at the moment, so we're 20% off, and I thought to celebrate I'd host a few bonus streams during the sale. Today is one of those streams. For the next, hour or two, I'll be live answering questions, addressing concerns, and making sure people understand what they're looking at when it comes to Dungeon Alchemist. This particular map I found on the workshop. It's created by a very, very talented cartographer in our community named Geronimo. I'm just going to leave this up right now with the UI off, but I could turn on the UI, but I kind of left it off because it just looks so clean. Disable those animations, turn on the grid. Heck, I could even make the grid match a little bit with some red. That looks really nice, doesn't it? Like, very clean map. Anyway, welcome to this kind of like bonus stream. I hope you're having a wonderful evening. As a bonus tonight, we'll be announcing the winner of a giveaway that we hosted on our Blue Sky this last week. Blue Sky is kind of a newer platform, social networking platform, and we're trying to just grow our presence there just a little bit. And as such, we're hosting we were hosting a giveaway last week. We'll probably be hosting another giveaway there soon. But at least for now, it is, it is wrapped up, and we'll be making a new one soon. Sorry for the word salad there. Updated and on their chat bot over on Twitch. Anyway. So for those tuning in, we are live streaming on multiple platforms at the moment, which, if you're not aware, that is Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and Steam, all simultaneously. So I'm monitoring all the chats for those feeds, trying to make sure, everything's good there. So if any of you have any questions, concerns, feedback, suggestions, let me know. But does what count as a crossover? How you doing, Jack? Jackety Jack. What you been up to, brother? I guess so. Crossover. You're funny. It counts as a multi-stream. How's life treating you, man? Anthony, thank you for the like over on Facebook. Much appreciated. Likes, shares, hosts, subscribes, follows, retweets, all of that stuff is very much appreciated at the moment. Yeah. Honestly, I'm quite well, actually. I got a nice little power nap earlier today, and I was like, you know what? I'm so primed for a bonus stream tonight, so I figured why not? Man, this map is great. So it's a warehouse that actually has been slightly altered to accommodate to like a cult setting up shop in it. So like imagine a warehouse in like a rundown industrial district, like an abandoned warehouse, and they kind of just took it over and set up shop inside to summon some sort of deity. Oh man, that game looks really good. I definitely am gonna make sure my Game Pass is re-up for that out to at least try it out. Indiana Jones games always get me, whether it's a Lego game or a side scroller. I've been playing those Indiana Jones games pretty much since I was like 6. So I really enjoy them. They're always fun. And they had some, you know, when I was younger on like PC and older consoles, and they always do really good. I'm hoping this one does well too. This map actually hits really hard. Looks good. Take another look at a different angle. Oh man, looks really, really nice. This is a really good map. Disable collisions here. We'll grab us a token. Place the token and we'll walk around. Oh yeah. That looks great. Oh no, I'm in the summoning circle. What a world, what a world. That looks so cool. Very nice map. So I'm just curious, like, when you look at this map, any of the viewers right now, and you see the potential of it, what do you think you could use this map for in your campaigns? Like, obviously it's cult right now. There's a version of this map that actually has none of this stuff. Let's see if I can find it. I think I'm subbed to it already, so yep, we'll jump over. So you have 2 versions of it. So you could have just like a regular one and the cult one. Get rid of the there. So, cool. Absolutely amazing looking. So I am going to be in just a little bit, probably about 10-20 minutes. We'll be doing there's like a wheel I set up, spin wheel type thing for a giveaway we were hosting on our Blue Sky. And I don't know if this is visible for anyone on the stream. There it is. Anyway, I don't know if it's easy to read that or not, but it's just popping up now. Hey Kaihara, how are you? Kind of hard to see now that I'm looking at it, but it's okay. It'll announce the winner. Yeah, well the problem is there were 62 people who entered, so it's really hard to get all of that legible. Like even if I grab this and just scale it up, it becomes kind of like hard to read. You know what I mean? But the winner, when it spins and picks one, is shown here in large red legible text. So my hope is that's at least better to a degree. Fortunately, Kaihira, it's too late to enter. This was hosted exclusively on our Blue Sky. I'm just going to be doing the spin the wheel live, so I can make a video of it later. But it is, I'll be hosting another giveaway there soon, so just letting you know. Oh, man. Didn't have typed that in all the chats. Hopefully the command works. Bot's been kind of not working lately for me. Okay. Weird how it's just... I'm gonna just play it, man. Hey, isn't it? Huh. Odd. There we go. That should get it. Had to manually do it. But we'll be hosting some more giveaways soon. Oh no, even that command's out of date. I think our Blue Sky profile is all changed now. Play it one more time. I'm so sorry for the rigmarole. We actually updated our profile to go, like, be more indicative of our brand, and it shows like, oh no, that's the exact same. Weird. Oh no, it's not. At dungeonalchemist.com versus dungeonalchemist@bluesky.social. Anyway, it's a little neat, I think. Anyway, let me get rid of this wheel for a while before we focus on the giveaway. I'm sorry to be a bummer. If you missed the chance to enter, it's a little too late. But you get to be part of seeing the winner drawn and know about future giveaways. I like this map a lot. Very clean, very stylish, very simple. It's 9x6, which means it's an 8.5 by 11 print. Ideal for, you know, just like a home printer. Oh, let's see what we can do with the grid here. Disable it. Back to the workshop. Thank you for the likes, TikTok. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Jack, what you playing lately? Oh, cool. An underwater map. There's an anemone. Y'all, my cat's asleep right next to me. Like, just chilling out. And it's adorable. I don't want to disturb him, so I'm going to try and be quiet. Alrighty. Taking quite a moment, but it's cool. Survive. It was like almost 350 megabytes. That being said, it usually doesn't take that long. Steam is kind of slow sometimes. They'll like chokehold your downloads. Throttle those boys. The light can really make it feel much more underwater. Also, I noticed they put water on the bottom here, which it could be, you know, just a darker, deeper kind of current or whatever. But the terrain brush also has a sponge that can suck that up, so you can just have it all be like one thing with the light being the water. That's the way I would approach this for now. At some point, we do have 2 updates catered to water-based stuff. One is called Water Worlds, and the other one is called High Seas. Both will, you know, help enhance our water-based maps quite a bit. But until then, we kind of have to work around what we got. But this is really well done. So chat, I'm I'm participating in a one-shot in a couple of weeks, and I am very hyped. Started putting my character together. I'm sure no one wants to hear about it, but I'm going to talk about it anyway. So, the theme for the character is to shift the odds in your favor, luck, and odds manipulation, essentially. So, first and foremost, I chose a halfling, which has halfling luck. If you roll a 1, you can re-roll that 1 and take the next roll. I also chose a background that starts me with the feat. In this case, I chose rewarded and took the lucky feat. That gets me lucky, which 3 times a day or long rest or whatever, I can change the outcome of a roll. And then additionally, I chose a divination wizard, which has the ability called Portent, and you can roll 2 die, 2 d20 before your session, and those d20 you can, if someone rolls something, let's say a bad guy or a good guy, whatever those d20s are, you can use them to manipulate the outcome against someone or towards your favor. So let's say you had a 20 in your pocket, you could, flip a 1 into a 20. Or if a bad guy rolled a 20 and you had like a 5 in your pocket, you could flip it to a 5. The portents are really interesting in that regard. Anyway, I also I made sure to have the Silvery Barbs spell, just so I have a couple of backups if, you know, all else fails. But when it comes down to it, I really should be rather hard to hit if I don't want to be. And you know, an interesting build. It's a, right now I'm a level 3. This is where we're starting at in the one shot, and I am a multi-class. I'm going level, I started in Artificer, so I took 1 level in Artificer. And then I switched over to Wizard, and I took 2 levels in Wizard, and then I became a Div Wizard. So, as it stands, I took Artificer, so I had like proficiency with shields and armor and a lot of different weapons. And then I also, my saving throws are Constitution and Intelligence, instead of Intelligence and Wisdom, which I think is a little bit better. And then yeah, it expands my spell list a little bit because I'm a prepared caster on one side, and then, you know, well, it's still a prepared caster on the other side, but they're separate spell lists, so I can kind of pick more utility on one side and then more like flash on the other. It's kind of neat. I probably won't dip too far into Artificer, maybe only another 2 or 3 levels over time. But likely we'll stick with Wizard for like the next few levels if we continue playing after this one shot. Because the hope is the one shot goes well and then we roll into more long-term play with our characters. Fingers crossed. Everyone send me good luck. Honestly, I think this looks great. Really good. You know what, chat? I'll just talk to myself even harder if you're not gonna humor me. I'll just sound crazy. Kidding. Are any of you working on any new maps or any new stuff for your campaign? I would love to see if there's any interesting things you're working on. Yeah. This map is awesome. I think it looks great. Get all zoomed in like this. Hide that UI. Pretty solid. Clean little map. Little encounter. Well, I was hoping a little bit more people would file in to see the giveaway winner, but that's okay. It just needs to be done. Oh. Have a piece. Flip it. So make sure I have the Twitch channel open. Okay. Nice. Awesome. Thank you so much. That means you'll be ready for the next one. Right, Mosey? Another bonus stream. You made it. Glad to see ya. So basically, I'm hoping in the next day or two I'll announce our next giveaway on Blue Sky. And we'll go from there. But in the interim, let's go ahead and spin the wheel and show the winner of the last giveaway. So Mosey, you just wandered in right when we're about to announce the winner of a giveaway from a Blue Sky giveaway we held about over the last week. For anyone wondering what I am talking about, just dropping links in a couple of platforms. How is your day going so far, Mosey? Good, I hope. So you can see the wheel. It's kind of hard to read, though. I need to work on that. But there were 60 entries, so it was kind of an exercise in futility, trying to get everything legible on there regardless. So I'm going to spin, and it will announce the winner. Okay? This is all done at random. Here, just to kind of show. There's like all the entries here. So there's a lot. And anyone could enter, whether they owned a copy of Dungeon Alchemist or not. All you had to do was show a screenshot of Dungeon Alchemist in your library or in your wish list. So anyone can wish list it. And then, or if you own it already, that means you could enter. And then you just follow our Blue Sky account. So those were the two things to enter this particular giveaway at the time. But, yeah, I think the next one will be something similar to that akin. It's a good idea to just, I don't know, get people checking us out. Looking forward to Monday session. My day's been great. I actually got a super power nap earlier. It was awesome. Let's go ahead and spin that wheel. Spin that wheel! No, no, it's cut off. I can't even see it. Okay, that's great. Hold on. We're gonna fix this. There, okay. I could see it. Being said, that does not look quite like what I was thinking. Earlier when I was testing it, it looked a lot nicer. Oh, I see why now. Okay, let me just write that down before I forget. Fat Gnome. So congratulations, Fat Gnome. Fat Gnome won a copy of Dungeon Alchemist. By the way, just a quick reminder, shameless promotion, we are on sale right now, 20% off. And that sale runs through the 4th at 10 a.m. Pacific, so just a few more days left. Correct, Swifty Goth, we are hosting a little late night bonus stream. It's Dams After Dark, I guess. Uh-oh, my cat wants to out. Hold on. My cat hardly ever shows his face in here when I'm streaming, so I figured y'all need to. Getting too hot in here for you? I know it's toasty in here when the computer's running. I mean, my name is Mac. Take that where you will. Okay, so Fat Gnome is the winner. I'm gonna spin it one more time just to prove it is random every time. Okay, I'm gonna prove it. Unfortunately, the next one isn't a winner. It's just to show that this is completely random. I want to validify this, okay? It's just 20% off on Steam, and depending on their region, the price varies from region to region. We also have a free demo, Swifty. So if first, like if they want to try it on their computer before they buy, they can try the demo, which is also through Steam. So yeah, just gonna do it again so everyone can see. This is completely random. Again, the winner is Fat Gnome. These other ones were just kind of like follow-up spins to prove this is real. Okay. I'm going to use this kind of method going forward for other giveaways because I think it's fun. Psh. Dig. I just gave you the biggest fry squint of all time. I was like... It is 10:22. That's what time it is, Bane. Hey, Shlomo, how you doing? Welcome back. What you been up to, Bane? Oh, nice, Shlomo. I can't wait to hear how it's going for you. Like, have you played around with it? Oh, no, you'll set it up tomorrow. Gotcha. So, I'm excited for you. However, your day will not be straightforward. I'm sure there's a lot of work ahead of you. Getting all logged in, getting through all your two factors everywhere, getting everything installed. Oh. Oh, that'd be pretty cool, Kaihira. So it's like I center it in the map somewhere. That'd be interesting. Bane, I'm excited to see you. How about that? So, because of the sale, we're hosting a few bonus streams at kind of random times. And, yeah, these random times, I've kind of been sliding them into later time slots because I don't normally hang out with the late night crew. You know what I mean? I'm sure there's a bunch of night owls in our US fan base, as well as just people across the pond that don't get to watch us regularly on our other time slots because they may not accommodate as well. I'm considering maybe adding one nighttime like stream slot a week. Well, Shlomo, I'm excited for you for your new PC. Do you want to share the specs of the new one so we can talk about it for a second, or do you got to take off? Well, also, Shlomo, I am glad you dropped by to say hello, and that you tried the demo, and that you snagged it. Did you get it on the sale? Because, like, I am... you'd love a regular night stream, Mosey? Yeah, I mean, I could do it around, like... Because right now it's 10:30 my time. It's, like, just about 10:30. It's 10:25. So, I mean, in Vegas, that's Pacific time. It's pretty much, that's the West Coast. So, unless I was in, like, Hawaii, it wouldn't get much later than this in the US. So, I mean, like, earlier than this. So I could probably stream at, like, at, around 11 to 12, somewhere in there. It would be interesting to do that. Just to give people a chance to hang out. at a different time. Hey, see you, Shlomo. Oh man, that computer sounds great, especially with the 64 gig upgrade. Not bad, not bad. Sounds like you'll be really enjoying DA on that machine. So i9 14,900, 32 gigs of RAM, but upgrading to 64. NVIDIA 4070. Not bad, my friend. Steel City, Magic the Gathering, USA Night Owl here. Oh, I feel you, my friend. I feel you. But usually at night, I'm like just kind of hanging out. I'm reading or I'm watching shows if I'm up late. Really glad to be doing a bonus stream with y'all. Hanging out, though, to celebrate our sale. Let's, would anyone like to see some previews from our next update? We can showcase some teasers from the next update and then see what we can, and then see if we can find any other maps. Yeah, I mean, we have an update like every 6 months or so on average. The next update is called Fun with Objects, and it will be featuring multi-level support, and a few other things. I mean, I wouldn't have shown it if people said no. Oh, Mosey, yes, I owe you. I owe you. Let's look that up, actually. I was trying to think of what to pull up next time. So they didn't put books on it, per se, but it would work perfect for it. And you can put books on it yourself, right? Let me show you what I mean. I'm going to load that map up. While that's loading, let's get a preview loading. So this here is a really great showcase of how you can transition between levels really quickly. You can do it one of two ways. Using a hotkey, the plus and minus keys will allow you to transition between going up with plus, going down with minus. Or there's arrows on a little new UI element that appears over here that's just out of frame. It was cut off in this clip. This is early alpha footage, so a little bit out of, it's a little bit older. It's a little bit wonky. There's some bugs to it. There's some things that are like out of place, like this gargoyle floating or this door overhanging the wall above it. Just stuff like that. So we're working towards depreciating old assets, blending them in with this environment, making sure they transition well between the various levels. In this next update, a lot of new things will be coming together in tandem to make sure multi-level is a very good success. There are balconies on the outside, as well as there will be roofing and ceilings. You also can cut out inner floors, get rid of them entirely to do like vaulted levels, or to have like balconies, inner balconies, mezzanines, etc. A lot of interesting new developments in this update. In this preview, you can see ceilings and the new extended walls that essentially no longer have stuff, overhanging like photo frames and windows and doors and stuff. So all the walls, when you raise up and add a roof or a ceiling to it, they raise up. There's a little riser, like a boost. Yeah, you really won't have to do that anymore, Steel City. Granted, that's probably the most straightforward way of doing it right now, is just a bunch of, maps that are separate either separate maps that are all like this, each a level of the building, or they're all like laid out next to each other. Ceilings are going to be fun. Keep in mind there will be a limited amount of like ceiling and roof options in the beginning, and they'll mostly only be like flat. There won't be much like, you know, like angled or arced or dome ceilings or anything like that to begin with. But with time, it will get more expansive. The estimate is Q1 2025. Yeah, it will really improve immersive shots from the interior when you're walking through in first person or a cinematic camera. Um, so in that regard, yeah, it's going to be a game changer for sure. Post-apocalyptic? Mantala, you can do post-apocalyptic kind of to a degree right now. Would you like to see? If you give me just a moment, I'll pull up a map. I promise to show this one first to someone else, and then we'll show you a post-apocalyptic map. But we have Steam Workshop integration on the on Dungeon Alchemist. That includes maps that users have created and shared. There's over 10,000 free maps that anyone with a copy of Dungeon Alchemist can access and download. And assets. There's nearly 7,000 assets, many of which, you know, complement our fantasy aesthetic, but as you can see, there's some sci-fi. There's a poker table. There's things that go into futuristic, cyberpunk, Fallout, Walking Dead, apocalyptic type stuff. And as such, a few people have really leaned into different themes and made all sorts of maps in different, like, aesthetics. There is, or was, a map just recently that was like very popular. Where did it go? Hold on, I'm trying to find it. There, this one here is a road in an abandoned city. Like, this could definitely work for Fallout or a post-apocalyptic type scenario. And there's even a few Fallout Vault maps on the workshop. I encourage you to go on the workshop and just search Fallout. See here, a few people have made different ones, and if you download these maps, you're prompted to download the assets within the maps, which expands your asset collection and allows you to try and build them as well. So there's not a ton, but it is possible. It's getting there. Yes, Swifty. Okay, back to this. So this thing is called Hangman's Alley. This map is beautiful. It's a simple little alley. That's all it is, right? Just gonna extend it a little bit, like this. Deleted the pillar there, so hurry and replace it. Anyway, trying to give you the best experience I can here. Book. Let's find us a cool looking book or books. Let's do this one right here. Make sure collisions are off so we can scale this far beyond its normal size. Hello. I told you this map should be larger. And there. Right? And then pick some books for the other side. Cat for my face. Snuggling the cat earlier. Probably just do some generic ones over here. But you get the idea. Pop down into cinematic. That's pretty cool, right? Like, It is a book nook, pretty much, right? But look at this. It's got like multiple levels. King's Head, it says the name of the bar. There's like shop displays. This map is quite amazing, actually. And it's inspiring, to say the least. Like, the fact that they packed so much punch in such a small little space. I mean, you could probably get away with making a space like this using just objects. And then you could build it all on a shelf with books next to it. You know what I mean? Anyway, just throwing that out there. Either way, or you could make like a standalone like this that, you know, that's where they are now. Either way, a standalone map that's like an encounter where they've been shrunk down into this small environment is also cool. Or it'd be cool if this place exists and you have to use reduce to go to it. You know what I mean? Like, you have to get shrunken down so you can actually fit into this place and go do business with the patron and with the person inside. Like a ferry or something. It is great. I think this is one of the coolest maps available on the workshop. It's just interesting. So before I expanded it all this way, I mean, yeah, it was much smaller here. So this thing is 5 by 11. Not bad. For how much map it is, you know? Oh, yeah, as well. This isn't, I mean, you could do a lot of things with this, for sure. You want to know why I'm most excited for the next update? So, I know this update's going to make our community so happy and benefit our community as a whole. Make everyone be able to, you know, build a lot more maps that they've been wanting to for a while. That's got me really excited, and I also fall into that category. There's a map that I really want to make that I haven't been able to make because Dungeon Alchemist was lacking certain abilities to really approach it. Does that make sense? And I am very excited to hopefully try and build it soon. Just every time we have an update, it's like, oh my gosh, I can try and build something else. So, I brought this up on stream a few times before, but I'm not ashamed to say it. I'm a big Stargate fan. Big fan of the Stargate franchise, movie, series, all that stuff. Series, different shows. Serieses. They are one of my favorite sci-fi, you know, it's like one of my favorite sci-fi franchises of all time. Now, moving on from that, there is a map I've been trying to build for like over 2 years that just has been really frustrating to me. I want to be able to make the SGC, which is kind of like the home base in Stargate. It's where they kind of like set up shop. Oh, wait, I have seen this map. Wait, I haven't. This is so cool. Yeah, SGU, I mean, it grows on you the more you watch it, and I think that's, like, I think part of the problem SGU is, like, the whole structure at MGM was kind of changing like crazy. Like, all the people there were, you know, leaving or getting fired and getting replaced. And in short order, like all the people who were in Stargate's corner were no longer. So SGU got lit, you know, and even considering most of the old sets and other things weren't being reused and they had to be remade from, you know, like new sets from scratch, it despite all this, it had an interesting overall concept. Hey, Refugee, thank you for the follow. Much appreciated. Um, you know, so people lost out in the middle of nowhere on a ship they can't really leave. Interesting concept. I think part of the reason it wasn't so popular, and I say this, you know, now that I've watched it quite a few times, I am a big fan of the overall series. I'm just kind of pointing out some of the reasons I think it didn't succeed. One was the excessive drama. Like, they kind of were merging a CW show with a sorry, with a sci-fi, you know, with Stargate, and I just think people weren't really happy with that direction, and it frustrated them. There was a lot of aspects of time in the show that were just dedicated to like relationships between people, and like I was open to them expanding this concept and doing other things, but at the same time I could understand why some people weren't happy with it. You know, there is less focus on the sci-fi and being in space and the dramatic nature of what was happening, and more focused on, you know, people's interpersonal relationships, which I guess is an important factor where a bunch of people are trapped on a ship together. They can't necessarily leave at the end of the workday. You know, they were trying to be a little bit like Battlestar. Yes. I think SGU, though, what they did do right was show, like, even like the ship was old, but it had technology that was far advanced to humans because it's a ship, you know? Like, had all sorts of stuff on it that they didn't understand and helped them in their journey. I liked that, you know, the show overall had an interesting premise. I just think it suffered from, like, a few various things. Like, it didn't have the backing of the studio right as it was just getting prime and good. Like, the story, the action, the drama was all meeting up at like a centerpiece, and it was really good. And then it just kind of, yeah. Anyway, I do think it was just starting to get its legs as it was canceled. I'm a big proponent of like a new Stargate show, especially now that like Amazon has bought MGM, like in all their properties, right? So hear me out on this. I don't think SGU could come back at this point. Like, all the actors have aged quite a bit, unless they say like maybe the pods malfunctioned a little bit and they aged a little extra, or we fast forward it quite a bit because it was known that those pods, you would still age a little bit inside of them. Additionally, that this whole thing with SGU could be a major plot point for as part of a new show. They're trying to rescue them, as they have an opportunity to rescue them or open a gate to them and get them the supplies they need to get back. So basically, well, I want to make the SGC like a multi-level SGC where you can navigate most of the areas around the gate room and the levels up and, you know, above and below it. That's my plan. I'm going to do that like after the next update comes out, hopefully. But anyway, moving on, I think there should be a new show. It would be interesting if in SG1 there was an episode where a nefarious Asgard, Loki, Flash cloned Jack O'Neill, and this clone was Jack at like 14 years old, but had all his memories and experience, right? And he essentially, I don't know, I mean, if you just figure like he aged a few years, oh, maybe 10, 20 years, 10, 15 years later, he's now wants to be part of the SG program, and he already knows everything about it, so he has the clearance and the training and the know-how. They could put him with, like, some young new actor that kind of just has that look. Kind of similar to what they did for, like, the MacGyver show a few years ago. And then have upgraded tech for the SG team. Like, they could have little, like, quadricopter drones and new weaponry and upgraded stuff. Because obviously advanced technology has been being made after Atlantis was brought to Earth. And all these things and advancements have been happening. Just throwing that out there. I think it'd be cool if the SG teams had, you know... Did I know this? If there is, I mean... Like, it's all new? Like, they're rebooting it? Or is it picking up where they left off? See, I've not heard of this. This is a great map with a lot of verticality in it, though, for sure. I heard there's a new Highlander in the works. I don't know if any of y'all heard that, but it's got Henry Cavill attached. Really? Roland Emmerich's been trying to get more Stargate for years, like, off of it, and he wasn't able to. Technically, the pilot for SG-1 was supposed to be the second movie. One thing too is Cavill is really like passionate about the source material and stuff, and will likely, hopefully, try to push for the story to be more compatible with the original source material instead of like the Hollywood madness that went off the rails, you know, with some of the older Highlanders. Like the second one was some sort of fever dream. But yeah, there's a rumor there's a new Highlander in the works, and if it is, I would be very excited to see it. I kind of was hoping they'd either reboot the TV series or make a new movie. The thing is I would love to see it kind of reimagined in a modern setting where there's like cameras everywhere. People have smartphones. There's security cameras on like every home, Ring doorbells. Every business has security. And there's cameras in like all major public places and intersections. The thing about the Highlander series was they would fight like in private somewhere, you know, in the middle of the night or in, you know, somewhere off the beaten path. And I'm wondering how that would work with like a modern era. But granted, when they were fighting, all sorts of like electricity and things would happen because it was like their two powers were like kind of just like buffing off of each other, so to speak. But that could maybe make an EMP or some cameras go out. But it'd be interesting if there was a technological aspect where some people were like trying to track down the Highlanders or following them. Well, I mean, yeah, they were the original Fight Club if you think about it. Like, no one could talk about it, and it was only for Highlanders. It's interesting to see how it could be, the story could be told in a more modern setting where there's a camera, like, everywhere, right? And that's a major concern for the Highlanders. Their privacy and keeping the fact that they're immortal out of the limelight. It could actually make an interesting, like, storytelling mechanic. Hey, Mario, thank you for the like. Much appreciated. TikTok, thank you for the likes. Much appreciated. I don't know. I mean, could you imagine maybe some like content creator that there's all these content creators who are like people making speculative content on like stuff that's like fringe things that are like, you know, skinwalkers or UFOs and all this stuff. So imagine someone was doing like a content creator was trying to research about Highlanders and was suspicious of a few or immortals or and was suspicious of a few people who like whose images pop up more and more frequently in the last like in the record in the last few hundred years or like, you know, just stuff like that. Ever since there's been paintings and photography, it would be harder for a Highlander to hide their identity. I mean, that could be part of it, Diggs. To be honest with you. People could say, oh, that's just AI. I would think it'd be like an interesting, like, you know, they're like, oh my gosh, are you seeing this? And people would just say, it's all fake. It's all fake. And no one would believe them and their reputation is just like whatever. But maybe only a couple of people believe them. Something like that. I don't know. It'd just be kind of an interesting portion of the story. Because content creation is a big part of our lives now, whether we like it or not. There's like content creators in public everywhere now making stuff. And, you know, here we are watching a stream about Dungeon Alchemist, you know, content creation. I mean, they do, in the TV show, they had like kind of otherworldly abilities at times to do other things, not just be immortal. Like, some of them had really good powers of persuasion. I remember one could control canines. So, like, when they fought each other, they absorbed each other's powers. In the TV show, that was kind of like an added aspect of it. But the powers were more, like, subtle. They weren't necessarily, like, you know, you could shoot lasers and fly. But also, man, they gotta be into some mad money. Like, could you imagine being that old and just being broke? You just gotta give up. Like, if you were broke and are that old, I would just find the first Highlander I could and have him put me out of my misery. Like... Oh my goodness. You live through every conceivable opportunity to make money, and you like are immortal, so it's not like you lose money in ways that others do. Like your fortune just kind of continues with you. All right, let's look at a few assets while we're on this map. We might as well. Let's check out this gate. This gate's actually really cool. Check this out. Hey, see you later, Swifty. That Highlander card game sounds pretty cool. So it has different states. Neat, huh? That's just shared on the workshop, so it's pretty cool. I like it. Little bug on me. What it was doing. Trying to get my blood. Trying to get my blood. I don't like that. See you later, Swifty. Checking something really quick. Oh man. By the way, if anyone's watching and you're curious what you're looking at, like what is this um, alluring and interesting program that you're watching, and why is this handsome and debonair content creator slash community manager streaming it so eloquently? Well, first off, my name is Mac. I'm the community manager for Dungeon Alchemist, and Dungeon Alchemist is the amazing program you see in front of you. It is available on Steam. You can look us up there to look up more information, or you can check out our website, dungeonalchemist.com. We happen to be on sale right now for the Steam Autumn Sale. This is a great honor. We're 20% off right now. And we have a free demo that's available through Steam, so you can download the demo for free, give Dungeon Alchemist a little test drive on your computer, see how it runs before you invest any time or money into it, and decide if it's something you want to use. Keep in mind the demo is a very limited slice of the overall capacity and function of what Dungeon Alchemist can accomplish. So it's not quite the same as what you see in the complete full version, but it is still a good little slice of the overall pie and gives you an idea of what can be done. You get access to the forest biome. You can create a tavern, and you can use some of the tavern theme objects. Unfortunately, you don't have access to many different biomes. There's like 12 other biomes and thousands of objects, plus hundreds of thousands of maps and 3D models available on the Steam Workshop that also is available in the full version. Side. Anyway, if anyone has any questions, concerns, feedback, suggestions, please let me know. These streams are considered AMA format, which means ask me anything. As long as it's Dungeon Alchemist related, I've got no problem answering your inquiries and making sure you are making sure you're up to date and understand what you're looking at. Dungeon Alchemist is a map-making tool and an immersion utility for tabletop RPGs, primarily set in the fantasy setting. So things like D&D, Pathfinder are the primary place where our maps are used, but people use them in like Mouse Ritter and other settings as well. Additionally, there's people who make maps in our community that fit into cyberpunk, Fallout, apocalypse settings, future settings of all sorts, sci-fi, etc. So it's very nice to be able to use Dungeon Alchemist outside of that aesthetic and breach into other kind of boundaries unknown, or areas unknown, if you will. These bonus streams are always such a an up in the air thing. I'm not sure if people will attend or enjoy them or not. Like right now there's 10, 15 people watching, but at least on Twitch. And I'm feeling like I'm like a comedian who is not making people laugh at the moment because of all the chats just sitting there. I'm like, is this thing on? Is it working? That's why I constantly remind people, if you have a question about a map you're working on or a map you plan to build, or you're struggling with, a certain aspect of Dungeon Alchemist, you're like, how did they build this? Let me know, and I will do my best to address that. Fountain. Mosey, you're fine. You can keep talking. watching me at work. Gotcha. So you got your brain rot content on while you're working. Good to know. Coco, it's good to see you. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you. And definitely don't want you to get in trouble, so no worries. Continue your work grind. And if your boss asks, say, Mac said you deserve a raise. And if he's like, who's Mac? Just be like, only the best and most awesome community manager in the world who also... I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I don't want to continue just making myself sound even more awesome than I am, so... What type of map are you working on, Mosey? Let's hear about it. Or what are you just doing session prep? No maps. What is this game? By the way, welcome, BMR Philu. This is Dungeon Alchemist. It's not really a game so much as it's a map-making tool that allows you to build maps and explore them and record content and screenshots and whatnot. But it's meant for, like, tabletop games like D&D, so Dungeons and Dragons or Pathfinder. So you would build a map in here, and then you can export it for print or as a digital file to use on like a TV tabletop or a projector tabletop. Alternatively, our maps export for a variety of other virtual tabletop systems. So if you're familiar with that, there is like Foundry, Fantasy Grounds, Roll20, etc. Our maps export and are compatible with their systems. But at the same time, you can explore it within Dungeon Alchemist, record and take screenshots that you can, you know, give to your players, or you can even stream this view like I am right now. Oh no, hang gliders. That sounds dangerous. I hope they get Featherfall prepared. Rocks and Rarities, thank you for the like. Much appreciated. By the way, I like your name. I'm assuming you, on your account, you share Rocks and Rarities. That sounds pretty cool. I'll have to check that out sometime. Oh, man, there's so much with token stuff now. Digsel. This will, let me walk you through it. So Hero Forge is our main integration, which you know about, as you just stated. So you can link your Hero Forge account, and this is just for everyone's sake who may not know already. So if you have Hero Forge, and if you've bought, you know, any tokens as a 3D digital or in their monthly packs as a member, you get their monthly packs. They all export through this, so you can link your account. We also have some tokens through Bite the Bullet. We partnered with them on their our last update, and they made this pack of tokens. I'm not sure if our next update will have tokens. When I talked to Wim about it, he said it likely won't happen. We also have added tokens into, you know, the various menus that we have given our community at various times. And then lastly, tokens can be downloaded from the workshop. So, oh, thank you so much, Rocks and Rarities. Thank you for the kind words. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. I'll give you a little fist bump there. So Dungeon Alchemist has Steam Workshop integration. If you click this tab up here while you're inside DA and then click Browse Assets, you can browse hundreds of thousands of 3D models to add to your collection. Now, I wouldn't go ham and download everything because some of them are poorly optimized and they really affect Dungeon Alchemist's performance. Some of these assets are hundreds of megabytes in size, whereas the average Dungeon Alchemist map is only like 5 megabytes. So putting that into perspective, you want to look at the asset, make sure it's a reasonable size. 25 megabytes or less are usually fairly optimized. But if you click over here where it says tokens, you can browse all the tokens on the workshop. 3D models can be imported as STL, FBX, GLTF/GLB files. So STLs are like these flat gray files that you see here. FBX are typically painted tokens, and GLTF/GLB tokens are typically painted and animated tokens. So there are hundreds of tokens. There's 100 just under characters. Monsters, let's go see. There's 351. And NPCs, another 161. So there's over, 600 tokens available that you can browse through and see if they'll work for your needs. Some are, sci-fi, some are different aesthetics, but most of them are fantasy. I really enjoy the generic STL tokens because STL files, they have a filter on them so you can change their color quickly. So let me just place this token here. So versus a full painted token, right? Put them right next to each other. These you can click on and add like a quick color filter. So like, let's say you had a bunch of generic same mob tokens. You can add different colors to them. Maybe that's a status, it's poisoned or on fire or any number of things. Or you could just separate them and indicate them with that color, Full color tokens, though, are obviously going to have the most distinction, and animated tokens the most. You can also use the asset importer that other users did to create and import assets. The asset importer doesn't support asset creation, but it doesn't support asset importing. So you can use our wiki as a reference. On the wiki is a section about asset importing. Oops, I think I typed the wrong command. Sorry. There we go. So the asset importer is listed under our wiki, and it has a great big breakdown of how it works. But essentially, you can source 3D models online, or if you have the ability to sculpt or, use CAD and make your own 3D models, you can then import them into Dungeon Alchemist to use as local assets or to publish them on the Steam Workshop. When you publish them, you can set them as private, friends only, or public. And when they're public or friends, your friends list can see them, or public, then anyone can see them. So like, for instance, this roof, the lovely Mrs. Mack, my wife, she made this with my assistants. I gave her guidance on what I needed, how big it should be, what it should look like, what I wanted on it. And this ended up as a rooftop on an observatory building I built. It's a 4-story wizard's tower with a telescope sticking out the side. This roof is on the workshop for anyone to use, by the way. So if you're interested, you can download it and check it out. Now, anyone can grab a 3D model if, they can make it, or if they can source one, and then import it through the importer. The importer, you can name it, add keywords separated by a comma and a space, set the template for the object. Is it an object that hovers and floats? Is it a basic object? Does it create a hole? Does it snap to the grid? Is it a token? This is what kind of is relevant to what you were asking about. So when you're importing a 3D model, you can set it as a token. And what this does is it adds it to the token menu in DA when it imports. And it also gives it the attributes of a token. So I've actually imported a few tokens. This plushie here, this Hendrik plushie, is a token in DA. So you can actually walk around in first person as this token. So as long as you have the ability to either, sculpt or, craft a 3D model, or you can purchase them or source them online. You can import them for local use if you find them online. But if you create them, you can definitely share them on the workshop without issue, as long as you don't mind sharing them, of course. Anyway, the asset importer is a very valuable tool that adds a lot of versatility to Dungeon Alchemist, because if you even have any 3D modeling skill at all, you can take your maps up to 11. There's a creator in our, in our community who makes maps professionally and sells them, has like a Patreon and stuff. And when we added the asset importer, he's like, oh, I don't see a use for this. So I was like, man, you got to listen to me, mate. You use this asset importer and you can start adding custom assets to your builds that are in no one else's maps, so they truly stand out far and above the rest. And he took that to the next level. He's now made thousands of custom 3D models that he shares on the workshop for others to use. His name is Sack. So anytime you see the name Sack, that guy is sharing something on here that's really cool. Usually stuff that we just don't have yet in Dungeon Alchemist, and so he's kind of filling the void and adding stuff. Here's another asset that was shared recently that's pretty cool. It's called a Skybox, right? The Dungeon Alchemist only has a couple Skybox options, kind of limited in that regard. But this here was created by one of our moderators who loves to share 3D models. And it's a one-way skybox, kind of like a one-way glass or mirror where you can see in from the outside at any angle. But on the inside, when you're in it, it's a completely different thing. Place a token down and look at it. So you have a night sky when you're in here as a token. Let's change the time of day to be night. See, doesn't that look really cool? The workshop can really add a lot of oomph to Dungeon Alchemist, especially if you're creative or understand what they're doing with these different assets. Yeah, I like it a lot. I think it's really cool. This map looks amazing with this on it. But yeah, I think it's a nice little addition. Makes this map really pop. I love my maps to pop. A little stuck in the collider there. Ooh. A whole new world. Hold on, let's take this to the next level. A whole new world. A new fantastic point of view. This looks actually really cool. This should be a screenshot. That looks pretty cool, honestly. Can raise it up a little bit more. Still inside the skybox. Definitely floating above this. That's cool. I like it. I'm proud of myself. Gonna give myself an attaboy for that. Hey, Andrew, how you doing? Next update is expected Q1 of next year. It's titled Fun with Objects, and it will include procedural generation for multi-level and multi-level support, so you can jump between levels really easily. Like, this multi-level was done in the current build, and it's all by hand. This is something anyone could build, and it's available on the Steam Workshop. With enough practice and time, anyone could make this. But it takes a little bit of know-how and understanding of how objects and the various mechanics and tools in Dungeon Alchemist work. But, with that said, the next update will make multi-level very, very, very versatile. You know, that's a good question. In my tests, I was trying to see how many I could make without, you know, having a crash or issues. And I got up to like 15 levels before I got a phone call and got distracted and had to step away. But basically, in the next update, you'll be able to build upward and downward. So you can build underground, you can build towers, castles, etc. Here, let me just show you how quick it is to build a multi-level structure, a simple one. In our last update, we added, you know, round and diagonal rooms, which is a great addition. Essentially, to go up to the next level, you just hit the plus key, it jumps up a level, and then you draw the shape you want the next room to be, and then it creates it on top of it. If you hit the plus key again, it goes up a level. If you press minus, it goes down levels. This particular biome has no terrain, so it can only go up. The one he's demoing it in. Oh, sorry, I have a cat fur on my face. But I've played around with it in terrain biomes, and you can go subterranean with offshoots and hallways and all sorts of stuff. So, Odric Dragor, thank you for the follow. Sorry I missed that. Much appreciated. So, let's see here. So in biomes where stairs seem appropriate, it will add them automatically, and then as you level up, the stairs dynamically, or like if you go up in levels, it automatically or dynamically cuts into them. But you can also cut the floor out of floors above and make them vaulted ceilings or have balconies like you see in here, like a mezzanine. So how much of the automation for stairs and integration right off the bat will be available, I'm not sure. How much of the AI will generate when it comes to multi-floor, because it's going to be very new and different for our AI. I'm sure they're going to have to train a lot of aspects of it before we launch it. So basically, from my understanding, though, is if you add a staircase, it dynamically cuts a hole into the space above it to make it fit, saving you a tremendous amount of time. Remember, all the footage you're seeing here is alpha, beta footage, so if it's like a little wonky in parts or things seem out of place, that's why. But it is very, very cool. Some of the new stuff available in the next update. I've been playing with the next update quite a bit, as I got access to the like alpha build for the dev build, and it is definitely interesting. There's a lot of new features and stuff in it that I'm very excited for our community to get access to and to start sharing it with our community when I can. These are just some teasers that I've shown before on stream, but I'm just sharing them with this time block because most of the people watching now don't really see me during the day, you know? How you doing, Dirty Rollers? What you been up to, my man? So you can tab between the levels using plus or minus hotkeys, or there'll be a UI element on the right side of the screen that has an up and a down. Well, like I said, this is very early alpha beta footage, and it's just kind of being worked with. We're just experimenting with all the levels. There really isn't any doors or anything here. It's just showing that you can transition between up and down spaces. That's more or less what this demo is about right here. Bane. Thank you for calling out the very, very alpha nature of this. So in the next update here, let me see. I have a clip that shows the new UI element. Let me pause this. So we'll watch this video in a moment, which is a new feature coming out in the next update called the modular object tool. But you see this over here where my mouse is? This is the transition kind of thing that shows you which level you're on. And then you can either click manually to transition between the levels. So let's say you're up at level 1, you can click down to go to 0. If you're at 0, you can click down to go to below ground if you want to start building below ground. So this was even made, this clip was made before the below ground stuff was added. And then you can also just use plus or minus instead of clicking it manually. So whatever you want. So essentially there'll be a new UI element to indicate where you are level wise, and also buttons that are UI to click or hotkeys to use. It's part of it, Emmy. Is this the same Emmy that won the Damn Challenge the other day? Well, congratulations to you. I'm really sorry you missed the stream the other day. By the way, I will be reaching out to you tomorrow to send you your gift card. I got the approval for it. I just need to purchase it in the morning and get it all squared away. We're showing teasers from our next update, so everything you're seeing here is kind of relevant to multi-level. I was showing this part of this clip because it's one of the only clips I had that has this button in it. I'm going to make a new clip tomorrow with multi-level and this button just to showcase it. But basically, this tool is separate from that button, so you can kind of disregard that until we show more about multi-level. But the modular objects tool is a new object tool that will allow you to quickly link objects together more easily, including rails, pipes, blockages that are like structural objects, etc. They're playing around with more ways to use this, including like suspending rope between objects or chains and different things like that. So it is a work in progress, and there's still plenty of work to be done on it. But it will allow you to quickly, for instance, build a rail system in just a matter of minutes instead of having to click and drag and click and drag and click and drag. So the train tracks are already in Dungeon Alchemist as a stock object, but you have to move them one at a time. Hey, see you later, Dirty Rollers. Thank you for being here. Session 0 tomorrow, man. I'm jealous. Have fun, my man. I've got a one-shot in a couple of weeks with a few of my homies. I'm really excited for that. You're really going to miss some clips, though, if you take off now. I was just about to show some bangers. All right. See you later. We're still going to have a Monday stream. This is just a bonus stream. I'll be streaming Map Maker Monday in the morning. In fact, I probably will wrap up in like the next half hour or so here. Or less. Perfect. See you later, Bane. So, in the previous clip, you can kind of see where the plus hotkey is used. Unfortunately, the clip is cutting off the tool on the right side because Wim's screen is so big, he just kind of clips a short area. But if you press the plus key, it'll generate the roof automatically, and then you can then start generating the next floor above. Alternatively, if we were in a terrain biome, we could press the negative key and go underground. Another cool new feature in the next update that is very, very awesome is the object brush is getting a big improvement. So the object brush is a tool many of you probably use already to quickly add a lot of content to your maps. To flesh out a forest or, you know, add some detritus, whatever, graves. But now you can make custom brush of any object, whether it's an object that's a stock object that there's not a brush of yet, or an object from the workshop. So what that means is you can quickly paint objects in mass, you know, making your own object brushes using all the object brush settings. I'm not sure if you can save the brush or if it's just like a quick one-time, you know, make of this brush and then you can make it of another, whatever. But you select the item. So once you select the item, then you can click Create Brush from Selected Object and then start painting that object. Big time saver. Here you can see transitioning between the spaces using plus and minus. I think it looks pretty cool. Yeah, I suggested being able to make like a group of objects or saving them as you make them, but I think this, as it's the first iteration of this new tool, it'll probably be kind of limited. The multi-level update with this stuff in it is not available, Kayana. Or is it Kana? Or Kayana? Or Kana? I want to make sure I say your name correctly. I'm sorry if I butchered it. This will be launching beginning of next year sometime. Q1, 2025. By the way, these little lights you're seeing, these little floating ones, these are a new feature we're adding. Kenna? Okay, cool. Sorry for butchering it. They will be what's called abstract lights, so they're only visible while you're building the map. You can set them at any height, set their color and brightness, and size, but when you export, they're invisible. So it's like an invisible spotlight that you can move around all over the map. Trying to see what other clips I have that I can share. This one's pretty cool. Shows off a new object we're adding called a portable hole. The portable hole actually works on walls and floors if it's a multi-level structure, and tokens and things and objects can traverse between it, so it acts like a door. So like if a token was walking along, it would fall through it. Jigsaw, correct. The lighting will stay. It'll be an invisible light source. The light will stay, but the light ball will disappear on the export. Like the little weird orb thing will disappear, but the light itself will stay. So it appears as an orb when you're building, so you have like a physical thing you can grab and move around. Does that make sense? Probably just wasn't viable. But Kenna, just so you know, you can actually make multi-level right now by hand, but it's a little bit more challenging. You know, it's not supported with the automation tools, and mostly everything you have to do is by hand. So you disable collisions, which allows you to raise objects up and down, scale them far beyond and below their normal capacity, and also move them closer to each other. You can generate the first floor with like the room generator, but everything above that would be objects from the object panel. Under our object menu, there are tons of objects that you can use as in structural situations, thousands of them. You know, little stone, platforms, corner pieces, stone steps, stairs, wooden platforms, metal platforms, bridges, round walls, round floors, ceilings, all sorts of things. Used in tandem, you can stack these things on top of each other like Lego or blocks. And at the end of the day, it allows you to get stuff like this if you're patient enough. It does take some time though. But multi-level with automated support using our procedural generation will be in the next update. So you just draw the floor plan, generate it, go up a level, draw the floor plan, generate it, go up a level, and it'll just generate it and fill it in. Granted, you could still go in and fill everything by hand if you want. All right, I think I'm going to wrap it up. It's getting kind of late, and I got to stream early in the morning, and this was intended to be a bonus stream. So if anyone has any last-minute questions, concerns, suggestions, feedback, please let me know, and I will do my best to address them before the stream ends. Hey, sorry, Emmy there. Let me see. Is there going to be an animated train on the tracks? I do not know about that. Will there be shadows on the lower level? If there's a roof, the separate outdoor lighting will no longer get in. I don't know if the roof is not there, if it will separate it still. I don't know. There are like a couple there's like at least 20 different roof types to start, at least now. There may be more before we launch, but right now that's all there is. How will it work when it's exported? Exports for this will work using the KISS methodology, keep it simple, stupid, or keep it stupid, simple. I.e., the exports will ideally work pretty much the same, but each level will be its own export. So what that would mean is each level would be a new scene in your virtual tabletop. That would allow for the most compatibility with the most virtual tabletops simultaneously. But if your virtual tabletop, say, has a levels module or something like that, you can use these scenes in tandem with that to better transition between them. Jigsaw, Dungeon Alchemist related questions, please. Sorry, TikTok, that I missed those questions. My chat was kind of frozen, so I had to refresh it, and they all came up at once. Let's play this video so y'all can check it out while we're talking. Kenna, I'm glad I could help. Glad I could help. So essentially, what I've heard is the export system will be getting a mass exporter to go in tandem with this new update. Because let's say you have 12, 15 floors. That's 12 to 15 exports. Doing those one at a time would be a nightmare. A mass exporter that you could export all floors one after another, maybe set properties for them, do one export group that's night and one export that's day and one, different times a day and stuff like that. So essentially, you would have different maps and different levels of the map to help create and set up the different levels and scenes in your virtual tabletop of choice. Excuse me. So, for instance, if you use Fantasy Grounds or Foundry or Roll20, pretty much each new level will be a new scene. Think of it as like a piece of cake that we're just slicing pieces off the top, and then each piece you reveal, it's like a cutaway or like a cross section where you can see inside to that level. Does that make sense? All right. Had a lot of fun hanging out with you all, but yeah, I need to get some rest so I'm fresh for tomorrow's stream. Thank you so much, everyone, for hanging out. I'm going to ask a small favor. If you enjoyed the stream today, please make sure that you hit that follow, like, subscribe, share, whatever it is for your platform. Please make sure you do so. That way you can catch us in the future when we're live. During the sale, we'll be doing a couple more bonus streams, but also tomorrow, we'll be streaming at our scheduled time, a multi-stream, just like tonight, across all major platforms. It's called Map Maker Monday, and it takes place tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern, and 5 p.m. UTC. During Map Maker Monday, I build a map live for y'all to watch, learn, participate in the build of it by making suggestions. And the stream is held in AMA format, which means ask me anything. You can essentially pop in and be working on your own map and ask questions and get guidance in real time from someone who has over 2,600 hours of map making experience. Maybe you're having trouble exporting or trying to build a multi-level structure or whatever, and I can show you in real time. This build is what I'm working on right now. It's a massive cemetery complex. Unfortunately, I guess I didn't save correctly, and I accidentally overrode my autosave. So all my work from last week got lost, but it wasn't too much because I spent most of the stream providing support. But we'll be working on fixing this section here. This is going to be graves for like old, martyrs and preachers and nuns and priests and stuff from this cathedral. And the cathedral's like a massive ancient cathedral that's been here a while as part of the cemetery. It's got a beautiful walkway and garden around it that I built by hand. And then, of course, what would a cemetery be without graves? We have some graves over here, kind of standard graves, more like fancy gated plot. This will be kind of the same as over here. And then we're going to jump across the street and go into some pauper graves going across this kind of corner. And then more like high style graves that'll be up on terraces. And then I'm going to have a road going over here. And this corner will be the caretaker's cabin or cottage with like a garden and a big shed for tools and whatever. And then the road will kind of come down here and intersect just like this road does here. So a lot of work to be done, but we're making a lot of progress. We work on this every Monday for the 2-hour allotted time, but we usually only get about a half hour to 1 hour of work time because we spend so much time hanging out, helping other people with their maps, discussing advanced concepts, and showcasing teasers from the next update. But I regress. Thank you so much for being here. Again, my name is Mac. I'm the community manager for Dungeon Alchemist. Dungeon Alchemist is a procedural generation powered map maker that is available on Steam. We offer a free demo that you can try Dungeon Alchemist before you buy to see how it runs on your system before you put too much investment in it. And we just so happen to be on sale right now during the Steam Autumn Sale, which is a great honor to be participating in that. We're 20% off, which is a great deal. Dungeon Alchemist usually doesn't go lower than that. I've never seen it in my 2-3 years as an employee with Dungeon Alchemist. So if you're interested in picking up a copy, you've been kind of sitting on the fence, maybe it's been on your wish list a while, now is the time to pick it up because it's the best deal you're going to get. Maybe you already own it, and you know someone who could use a copy, it's a great time to gift it. Steam has gifting. Maybe you have a DM that you love and adore that you would like them to have a copy so they can take their games up to 11. Consider that. And if not, make sure you spread the word when we're posting social network posts. Retweet, share, like, etc. Let your friends and family know. Let your players know. Maybe if they're considering getting into DMing, let your DM friends know. That way the word gets around. As a small indie company, word of mouth really helps us survive. Every little bit helps us, continue the development of Dungeon Alchemist and continue to push out each update from our Kickstarter promises. We still have 5 major updates left, including Fun with Objects, which is scheduled for sometime after the new year, so probably in the first quarter of the new year. So that's big deal. And then after that, we only have 4 updates remaining until we leave early access, and then sky's the limit, We can be working on all sorts of things outside of early access to expand what Dungeon Alchemist is considered and what it can do. Anyway, thank you everyone for being here. Again, my name is Mac, the community manager. We'll see you next time I give a damn. Mac out. Bye. Thanks for being here. I'm going to run a quick Dungeon Alchemist theme ad, and then we're going to end the stream.
But can it handle curves?
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 Dungeon Alchemist, the AI-powered map-making application for role-playing games, now comes with both round and diagonal walls. Create amazing professional maps for your players in seconds. Get it now on the Steam store.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for being here and participating in this super random bonus stream to help us celebrate the Steam sale. Again, Steam sale runs through Wednesday the 4th till 10 a.m. Pacific. It's 1 p.m. Eastern and I believe 6 p.m. UTC. So if you're interested in taking advantage of that sale, time is running out. Make sure you wishlist EA and try and grab a copy before it's too late. Thank you everyone for being here. See you in the morning for Map Maker Monday. Bye.